Hi, this is Kona, and for this video I'm going to talk you through how to compare numeric and categorical data using a bar chart. So for this one, our example question, is there a difference in the average hours someone sleeps each night and whether or not they have a pet? So my idea was just that I think people who have pets might get less sleep at night because uh, they're busy taking care of their pet might wake them up in the middle of the night. So the variables used, we've got the numeric hours sleep, and that's the average number of hours of sleep each night, and the categorical of do you have a pet, yes or no. So the best way to do this, that over there, we're going to go to graph and bar chart. And this time, the bars are going to represent a function of a variable, and then we're going to go ahead and do cluster and click OK. So for this one, we do want the mean. For our graph variable, that's the hours sleep. So that's the numeric one. So for that one, it's hours sleep. And then our categorical, that's our grouping one, and that is pet. And then we're going to go ahead and click OK. And so basically what we're getting, and it's not the most fun chart, but depending on what you want to do, it is the chart of the mean hours of sleep for people who have a pet versus people who don't have a pet. So you look at it, and if you mouse over it, the value is 6.9 for people who have a pet, and 7.1. So people who don't have a pet get slightly more sleep than people who don't have a pet. But this is a case where, you know what, maybe it'd be more interesting if you did a different type of data analysis, and it just kind of depends. So for me, this one doesn't really show too much. And maybe this would be one where you'd say, you know, I would really rather do, let's do this, hours sleep, and instead of, let's do pet, and click OK here. Now to me, okay, now this shows something a little more interesting because we can kind of see where the data's at a little bit better. So this is kind of showing just a better visual representation of this is where the data is. So here, this works. There's nothing wrong with this bar chart, but does it tell a really good story? Not really. Does this one potentially tell a better story? That it looks like, well, the no pet people are potentially getting more sleep here. There's more variability in the people who have pets. So when you can go through and talk more about, you know, where the median is compared to each other and the 50% of the data versus the other 50%, where this one is just kind of, you know, yeah, no pet people have a slightly, and I would say a very slightly higher mean amount of sleep compared to the pet people, which not too totally interesting. So I hope that helps. It's just kind of an example, and sometimes this does work. Sometimes it does look good. It just kind of depends on your data, but just something to, you know, remember. Maybe it's not the best way. So take a look at it and think about, is this the best way of displaying my data and telling my story?